Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name is Wendy Wing. I'm doing a reading for the collective. Welcome, collective. I hope you are doing well. So I am tuning into general energies. So take what resonates and leave the rest. Don't try and make anything fit. Maybe that's a message for someone else. If you would like a reading where I tune into your specific energies, you are welcome to schedule a reading with me. The link to do so is in the description box below. I'm really enjoying meeting a lot of you in that space, and just want to tell you how much I appreciate all your comments and your likes, and yeah, just enjoying and appreciating all of you. So, all right, collective. In the past, you were in the energy of Four of Wands, foundations and achievements. Such a happy card. Celebration, community, joy. To me, it feels like stability, happiness, fulfillment. So what are we looking at for collective in regards to Four of Wands? I'm getting that collective in the past, you really wanted this Four of Wands. Like, this feels like a wish fulfillment for you to have that Four of Wands, to have your partner, your family, create a family, a home, stability. The person who you chose, your partner, who you thought also wanted Four of Wands, wanted Ten of Pentacles, I mean, they're not out yet that I see, but it feels like you had this vision of happy home, success, celebration, joy. However, the person you wanted to create this with was I think you thought they were on the same page. Maybe they said they were on the same page, but this is someone who instead was very controlling and manipulative, someone who misused their power. It feels like you kept trying to move things towards this celebration, move things towards a stable home, a loving home. For some of you, we haven't gotten to family patterns, but it feels like trying to make up for, trying to heal a lot of your own wounds from childhood is by creating what you wanted, what you missed out on as a child. So if you felt like this person was a fit, was a pair, I mean, they're definitely a pair. King of Swords reverse and Queen of Swords upright. I get the feeling that you're Queen of Swords upright, whether you're, no matter the gender, this is the actuality of the pair of you. That that you were very clear about what you wanted and honest as you could be. And you wanted some independence, but instead with one person upright and one person in the reverse, it's like not going anywhere. If I'm getting this picture of, like, a tire spinning in the mud that's stuck, or snow, I'm seeing mud. And there's just, you put a lot of energy and time, but it's, the tire's stuck. The car's not going anywhere. This relationship didn't go anywhere. And and the more you put energy into this, the more the car just sinks into the mud. And so it just, yeah, I just feel an emptiness, a lot of effort and time put into this connection. It feels like it took you a long time to realize that you weren't both upright, that you were working with someone who's lying and manipulating and very cold emotionally, very callous. It feels like how you perceive, how you felt and thought who they were at the beginning of this connection is very different now. Now I feel like you see the truth about this connection. It goes past, blaming this person. You have seen so much about why you would be attracted to and be easy target for someone like this. And so, yes, I think part of it is seeing this person correctly. My suggestion is to not stay in that. Yes, how you are perceiving things might be completely accurate. How you're perceiving this person, how inappropriate, how using, how manipulative, but that is a truth. And it looks like you are expanding to get different truths. So you're not staying in that, what they did, who they are, the inappropriate behavior. You're expanding and seeing how your beliefs, how you were someone who was right before the taking, someone who maybe you lied to yourself as well. Maybe, and then you can expand and look more and see how maybe you had to go through these lessons so you could really get to this expanded point of view. You could see that, this is a general reading, and there's so many of us who have had this storyline, very similar storyline. So it must be important to our growth and our expansion. The bigger picture about how to move forward with these lessons must be pretty dang important. So, all right, in present time collective, you are in the energy of balance, justice. You have everything you need, and right now the scales are being balanced. This feels like karma. Since he's got wings on, it feels cosmic or universal or spiritual, like a karmic balancing is happening right now. But there's a lot of energy in this karmic balancing right now. Let's see. Yes, so right now it's time to let go of those toxic connections. If you still have some, if you're still connected with this person, it might feel like an addiction or an obsession. As I'm reading it, it is. There might have been, love at some point, or a version of love or loving feelings, some wonderful high points in this connection, but it's a connection with diminishing returns. I think I've done a reading, the same energy is like having heroin. From what I've not done heroin, but at first it is the best feeling in the world, and you keep trying to chase that high and get back to that point, and then you're so addicted to it that you just need it to get through your day. And to me, that's kind of what that is very close to what this energy feels like. At first, it feels really good. Then you kept trying to get back to that high point, back when they were love bombing you. Like, why can't we go there? They were showing you what you needed, what you wanted to see during that love bombing phase to pull you in, to get you to chase them, to get you hooked in. And then once you're hooked in, they don't have to give to the connection. You just continually chase it. And then eventually you're very unhappy and dissatisfied in this connection. And that's an understatement. Your needs aren't getting met. You're exhausted, you're depleted, you're constantly giving to this connection and not getting anything in return. And you're so depleted, you might be mentally, emotionally, and maybe even some of you physically depleted and sick from this connection. And then you just need this connection to stay alive. It's really hard to leave this connection when you're in that depleted state, because it takes strength and courage to leave the connection like this. So if you have left this connection, kudos to you. If you're still in it but wanting to leave, kudos to you. Wherever you are in this is, if this resonates, yeah, you're doing it. You're doing the best you can. Yeah. All right. Some new news is coming in. Some energy is coming in quickly. This has been happening in the last several readings. Fast change, something really coming in to shift this, to bring this balance, to make it really much easier to let go of this. There's something about hearing a truth, seeing a truth, something about a truth coming in, a message coming in. This could be by spirit just giving you a message, and you seeing things from a new perspective. This might be a literal message. It's coming in very quickly. And there's something about seeing something from, seeing this truth, seeing from this perspective. Like in the past, when I was talking about how, what happened is a truth, and you might be seeing it absolutely correctly. But then there's a higher vibration, a more expanded viewpoint where you can see other aspects of maybe why the beliefs you had made this such an appealing relationship at one point, and that's okay too. This is all part of healing and consciousness and growing, and then expanding again. And there's something about happening right now that is an opportunity for another expansion of seeing things very clearly, seeing yourself, seeing the situation, seeing the grand scheme of things. It feels like this is a gift from the universe. For some of you, it doesn't feel that you have talked with or you've had connection with this person for a while. Some of you might be actually seeing this person or in connection with this person, and all those fears of like still being easily manipulated. There's something about seeing this person that you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have those feelings anymore. I don't have a craving. This person can't get to me. It feels like that for everyone. there's something about this truth that's coming out, this equalizing, that will help you that will help you move forward, that will help you release this in a very profound way and move towards your Nine of Cups, move towards your wish fulfillment. So this is beautiful. This is really beautiful. It feels like a resistance to seeing this person or receiving this message, or because I can feel this like fear and defensiveness, especially with regards to this storyline. And it's going to have a great outturn. I mean, this outcome is amazing. I'm just hearing like, hang tight. This is for you. This is for your movement forward. All right. So a family pattern you might be working through right now is Five of Wands, obstacles and challenges. Family pattern. Okay, a family pattern. Okay, one aspect of this family pattern is when, quite possibly when your family, I'm talking my family of origin, when family patterns are, let's look at where these programs, these beliefs started. When your family has challenges, comes up against an obstacle, it feels like they go within, they create defenses. Oh, I'm getting that if the family pattern is this kind of codependent behavior. And people get very hooked, like maybe you've had relatives and you've watched them at the beginning of a connection like that. They're so infatuated. They're in it. You can't talk to them. You can see they've got like love goggles on. Maybe everybody else is looking at this person they're with and like, I don't see it, but you can't talk to them. They can't see red flags. They're completely in a picture. They're in a picture of, this is, what I'm creating, and I just know it. They have a knowing, and there's just no way to reach them. And in a way, and until this connection ends, whether it's a year or decades later, they're kind of in it. In a way, you can talk to them, aspects of them, but they're really kind of a couple now. They're not really themselves until they leave that connection. And when they leave that connection, they're furious at this person. They just this is the worst person that they were connected with. And then until they find and then you probably enjoy being with this person because they're more themselves again. They're kind of back. You've got this person, and then they disappear, and you don't even have to know, they've found someone else because they've disappeared. They go into connections and the connection becomes their whole world. And quite possibly this is a family pattern that you were in. Maybe you didn't even realize that you were in it so deep. I mean, definitely lost in the sauce here. So in it. I think now that you're seeing these patterns about others in your family and yourself, that you can't consciously repeat this pattern because you know too much now. You've experienced it yourself. You've seen others in your family do this, and it feels like finding something new, asking really good questions. What does a healthy relationship look like? What do I want out of a relationship? Does it fit into a particular mode or model, or is it something very unique that I'm looking for? God, I'm hearing so many questions. Is there someone out there who's also looking for something unique? What is it that I want? What would I change going forward? What would relationship look like? What would it feel like? What's important? What are your core values that you want back? What type of conversations would you have that you didn't have in this past relationship? Would you speak your mind even though it's uncomfortable? It feels like you kept quiet for a long time in this, or didn't know how to communicate, or allowed them more control or control. At least 51%, like they got that more of a controlling, you know, how much control do I want over my life? How much independence do I want? It's just all these questions that are really good questions, by the way, that I'm hearing. All right, personal issue right now is light. This feels like very happy, very healing, being in the spotlight, being your own light, resonating at your core frequency, trusting that you want to find more and more who you are, and that be enough. There are some beliefs that you might have, some personal issues, thinking that you do not fit in this Four of Wands picture, that you have to limit who you are to fit into some archetype. Maybe you try to fit into the archetype of spouse, wife, husband, mother. Maybe you are limited by the current archetypes of connections of family right now. What I'm getting is you are wanting to be all of who you are and create a new archetype that you don't have to limit. Feels very limiting, the archetype of mother, father, spouse, sister, brother. Wow, that fit. Let's change the archetype. If I don't fit into what a typical, what I want, all of who I am might not fit into today's societal norms of family. Maybe family is found family. Maybe family is soul tribe. People who are connected through the heart space, through light, through similar vibrations. Feels like the collective is questioning the family, and does it have to continue to have such a small way of being. It feels like it's already, there are so many people who are making marriages the way they want, questioning, can we have multiple people in the marriage? Can we, same sex, gender fluid? There's a lot of questions about, what makes a family family. And I'm not promoting anything. It feels like the question of family and what that looks like and what that feels like and the functionality of it are coming up. All right, so your conscience, what you would do if no one was there to judge you. Prosperity begins. You're planting new seeds. You're planting seeds for the future. You're taking opportunities. Okay, I'm getting that in this connection, maybe all throughout your life, since this has been kind of a pattern that has been happening since childhood. So you might have had many connections that were like this last one. This last one feels like a real doozy. I mean, you're really in it, and you're ready to maybe in this prior way of being, in this old type of connection, you weren't allowed, or you didn't give yourself permission to take opportunities on your own. There was always a gatekeeper, someone who, it feels like in this connection that you had to run things by this person. Feels like they didn't like opportunities that would not benefit them, or opportunities where your attention, you would maybe you would gain some strength. Maybe if it was something just for you that made you better, it feels like there was a competition. There's something about, I'm seeing like a slow motion basketball game where your ball is about ready to go into the hoop, and they're just constantly defense blocking your shots. Yeah, they were blocking your shots. If you learned that you didn't need them, if you took an opportunity and watered it and nurtured it and grew it, and then you would realize how abundant you are. And I feel like part of their control was telling you and constantly keeping you needing them. Wow. Yeah, if you could do whatever you want to do without anyone judging you, you'd move on. You are departing from this. You're taking the reins, you're taking the control. It has taken so much courage to get to where you are now. Nobody really knows how much courage you have. Your smile, you're choosing to be loving, you choosing to move forward. Nobody's going to get the rough road. There wasn't even a road. It's like you're making this up as you go, because you don't have, you're healing generational traumas. You're healing your traumas and generational traumas. I also feel like there's been a lot of resistance to this in your family. No, you're not going to get from your family of origin a ticker tape parade. If anything, there's a lot of resistance to you doing things differently. That just makes me, it feels like a hero's journey. That just makes me so excited for you all the much more, and so proud of how much courage you have. to take this opportunity, to take this seed of an idea that you have for a new beginning that has nothing to do with this, other than learning the wisdom, taking the wisdom from this, recognizing the map of pain that this has caused within you, and seeing that in others who are also making this journey, and seeing how truly brave it is to go through what you've gone through and still choose light and still choose love. All right, your desire right now is throat chakra. So throat chakra is your energetic center right here. It has to do with communication. Yeah, you're really, I think it's annoying the bejesus out of you to keep talking about this connection, whether in tarot readings or in life. It's like, I'm done with this. It's irritating me that we're still talking about this. I feel like your speech, your communication is less about telling the story over and over again, and you're starting to move on in your speech. Like, I would recognize, if I were your friend, that there's acceptance. Like, I just don't freaking care. Yeah, I could tell you all about the painful, cruel behavior, but I'm moving on from this. There's nothing left. I've picked over this. I've processed this. I've seen every angle, every freaking painful angle of this. I see now that I'm done. I want to be done processing this. I want to let this go. I want to let this connection go. I want to forgive myself for choosing this connection over and over again, for being naive, for being easily manipulated. It feels like you're changing from communicating about this from a hurt, wounded, maybe even stuck wound, like victim-y space. You're changing your communication to something broader. I see my role in this. I see the wisdom that I'm gaining from this, having gone through this. I'm wanting to take that wisdom and create out of this space, maybe for the first time. Maybe I've been in this. I recognize this type of toxicity from my family patterns. I recognize it in previous relationships. You're talking about it in a different way, and it feels like that is also allowing you to release this. Your higher self is in the energy of choose wisely, 7 of Cups. You definitely have so many more options. Whenever you were in this connection, it feels like you felt very tied to this connection. There were no options. Life got very boring and dull because the things you really wanted to do and who you really wanted to be didn't feel like an option. Moving forward, your higher self, you're learning about being dependent on others. I definitely felt like a codependency. There's something about learning how to stand on your own feet, not waiting for someone to rescue you, to rescue yourself. Take the reins in your hand to realize how courageous you already are. To not abandon yourself in a connection. That's really what we're talking about here. That's the family pattern. People who lose themselves in connections feel so, it's like you lose yourself in that, you're enmeshed with someone else. Maybe that's what you thought love was. Ooh, that's it. It's abandoning. This whole reading is about not abandoning yourself. They didn't abandon you. They just poked the wound and helped you see how to stay in this connection, you had to continually abandon yourself. And when you finally, it feels like they used your abandonment. They abandoned you again and again and again, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. They kept making you feel abandoned, but really you were abandoning yourself in this connection. This is the time of empowerment, bringing your power back, not abandoning yourself again. So it's an act of radical self-love. All right, your challenge right now is truth. The challenge is to let the scales be balanced with the energy of truth. Truth has been difficult and painful. The more you see about this situation from the different angles and the different vibrations, the truth is really you raising your consciousness, you being able to see the truth of the situation. I'm getting for some of you that passion, when you get someone who is reflecting just what you need, all the things you need, that it feels so wonderful. I get the feeling though that these people show up more as a shiny object that mirrors back what you need. They know how to be charming, how to keep being this shiny reflective surface for whoever they talk with. You might recognize that in you when you were younger. Do you remember maybe growing up and being charming and reflective, and that is how you might have survived and kept safe in your home of origin? Charming the people around you, being a shiny reflective object of all the things that they want to, like shining back, reflecting back the scariest people and most neglectful people in your space that you would constantly become this mirror of just reflecting back the best in them, and because they could not handle the truth of the entirety of who they are. And so you became a bit shallow yourself. You became a shiny object. Maybe you were also raised to be obedient to, it was about your behavior, not about you becoming more you, but about you being a shiny reflective object for the people around you. The antidote to this is truth, the energy of truth. Archangel Michael's white, it's like such a bright sword of consciousness, of truth. Your challenge is to be able to come clean. Yes, there's a level of coming clean and seeing the truth of this situation, the truth of this relationship, and who the person really was. And that's a devastating truth. And then you ask and see a broader point of view, and you see why you were susceptible to this, how you co-created this situation, how, you weren't chained up. You kept staying, you kept choosing this connection. So why did you keep choosing that, when from now, knowing the truth, more of the truth, be gentle with younger you. Younger you didn't see the truth of the situation, was still in it. So give yourself mercy. There's something right now about more truths are coming out, more seeing things clearly, maybe how you've deceived yourself. It's something about this present energy of justice, of the balancing, of something coming through that's going to help you see things very clearly, so you can let go and have your wish fulfillment. Your challenge is to allow your toxic ego to die. To not annex parts of yourself that you do not like, to make space for the wounded you who stayed in this connection, and to not be so angry and furious with yourself, or judgmental, uncaring, lack of compassion. It's really, there's an invitation, there's a begging, really. It feels like, love yourself, love all versions of yourself, love the you who grew up in this toxic family pattern of abandoning yourself in connections. Love yourself, and seeing these aspects of being drawn into connections where there's manipulation, because you had so many, using trauma bonds, codependency, love bombing. You didn't know. It's okay. Figure out how to live presently with all those aspects of you, reclaiming your power, bringing yourself back together, bringing aspects of you. It's like stitching back together all of who you are. When you've abandoned so many aspects of yourself along the way, don't keep doing that. Don't keep abandoning parts of yourself that you judge harshly. This is a time for bringing yourself together, having compassion for younger you. How do you work with parts of yourself that have been left back in childhood and might be more immature? It's okay. It's uncomfortable. This stitching together, this reclaiming your spirit, bringing your soul back together. You can ask for help. You can ask for guidance. Ask your guides, ask your angels for help. And then put yourself in a space where you can receive that help. All right, your lesson right now is triumph, the Chariot. Your lesson right now is how to move forward, how to take the reins, how to be incredibly courageous, how to be your own hero that's going through these difficult emotions and traumas and visiting them and pulling yourself back together. It takes dedication and courage, and a great amount of determination. It feels like you've got this determination. As long as I wake up, then every morning when I wake up, I'm like, I've still got the fight in me. Every morning I wake up, I'm like, I'm here. I'm going to keep moving forward. Ooh. There's something really beautiful about oh, okay. As you let go of this type of relationship, of this type of connection where you abandon yourself to be in it, you give your energy to someone else instead of yourself. As you move away from this, as you pull back and empower yourself, you are going to level up in the King of Pentacles. You are moving towards a stability and a security that you have never experienced before. Even if it's not necessarily just about wealth, because I've met plenty, and I'm sure you have, of people who might be financially well off and they're not really stable. They're not secure. I feel like your lesson is, maybe you felt like you needed these type of connections or this connection to give you stability. And the funny thing is, this person was constantly creating instability. They were constantly your Cobra Kai. They were constantly sweeping the leg of your success. So without this connection, and once you heal, and as you heal, you are going to receive an amazing amount of abundance and prosperity. This also feels very connected with justice, the balancing out. This person kept undermining your success. Part of the karma is you receiving positive karma from this, of you moving on to great success without them, because that feels really huge, that they're going to have to watch you succeed. Not to do this out of spite or do anything out of spite, but that does feel part of the karma, is allowing the universe to work with you in a positive, light-filled way to give you that abundance, that stability, that security, that safety, in that very first chakra grounded way. Wow, that it feels amazing. All right, your advice right now is Three of Swords, heartache and loss. Interesting. So that's your advice. All right. This is very interesting. I'm getting, I might get a couple out of this. I'll just, so some of you within this connection were in a third party situation. And there's something about the third party person. There's some false success. They're not really who they say they are. I get the feeling that they, okay, they mirrored to your person. Just like your person at the beginning love bombed you. They were a shiny object and they knew exactly how to show up to attract you because they were mirroring the best qualities of you. You fell in love with you. And you are lovable. You are amazing. You have great energy. So them mirroring you to you, you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like you're my twin flame. I feel like we're a mirror. We have so much in common. We see things so similarly. No, they were a mirror. The more, once they got you hooked and they stopped mirroring you, and you're like, where's the wonderful you? I want no, the wonderful you is the wonderful you. They just stopped mirroring your energy back. And then you started seeing the true them. And you kept begging them, like, show me who you were at the beginning of the relationship. Because they were mirroring you. You're amazing. Them, not so much. They can be a shiny object. They can be a shiny reflective mirror. But they're shallow. They don't have that depth. The depth you thought that you perceived in them was your depth because they were a shiny mirror reflecting back your wonderful qualities. This third party has done the same to your person. Ironically, karmically. Hmm. Mm. You're releasing this. The advice is to let this go. There's something about this third party situation that was especially, that this person abandoned you, quite possibly. This could be some of your stories. It for someone specifically, like a person, another love interest, or it could be they left you for drugs or alcohol or just their friend group or their work, something. They put everyone above you. I'm getting that some of you might have not understood when you were in this connection why you loved being with this person just one-on-one, but you did not like being around this person in a group scenario. Because, and it might have been confusing, like I don't like the person I'm in connection with in a group setting. And so you stopped wanting to go out in a group setting. And this person's really social and you're like, I don't like them. I don't know how. because they're a shiny object. They can only mirror who's in front of them. They can't mirror you in a crowd and mirror the people they're trying to impress. So when you were with them in a group setting, you would disappear. They were an aspect of themselves very different. And it was very unsettling, realizing that they're completely connecting with this person, a friend, whoever, and you are not even there, because they can tune you out that easily. So you might have felt completely invisible to them in a group scenario, a group setting. And it was really hard, because it feels like you also were they wanted you to be a mirror. They wanted you to be a shiny object to them. And you were only allowed to reflect back the positive aspects of them. And so maybe if, let's say there's a scenario where there's you, your person, and someone else, you're showing up as you are required to, as you feel required to, shallow, reflective, shiny object. Your person leaves, maybe goes to the bathroom somehow, and now you can be yourself with the person in front of you. And the conversation would get deeper and more meaningful and wonderful and lovely, because it would be more authentic. And then your person who you're connected with comes back, and we're back to shallow. Did something like that happen, maybe? Or if there's a realization of your part in playing to stay in this very shallow type of connection. So the advice right now is, the more you move on, the more you recover from this, the more you forgive. I mean, really, this third party didn't steal this person away. They're a freaking blessing. It hurts the ego that your person chose someone else, but oh my gosh, they might be like a hidden angel in disguise, that they made it easier, painful, but easier. Otherwise, had this not been such a painful experience, then you might still be like, well, maybe it isn't. So it had to be such a bad and painful experience, that like a band-aid ripping off, for you to see this relationship clearly, to see this person you were connected with clearly. The more you are able to move on from this and grow from this, then you have new love coming, new learning to love yourself, loving all parts of yourself, the parts that you've abandoned and let go, the parts of you that you are ashamed of, the parts of you that maybe anger, maybe it's difficult for you to be angry, and so you annex, like, I don't want to, I'm not angry, like parts of you that you judge. It's time to bring those parts back and love all of them. Figure out how to make yourself whole. There's a personal achievement of bringing yourself back together, of not blocking yourself off from the totality of who you are. to learn what energy is yours and what energy is someone else's. To accept all parts of who you are. As a very wise next step. Wow. All right. That's your reading. I hope this was helpful. Ooh, look at them. Take care. Bye.